Here we are. I'm Big D, and you're not. Oh, that joke never gets over. We are one day, 2 hours away from the big reveal at Adepticon. What? What is going to go on? Oh my god, we're so excited. Everything's so excited. So, they've been teasing this Gene Stealers and Terminators thing, and they keep teasing it and keep teasing it and keep teasing it. I honestly think my man Rob, I am so glad to see you. You two Hellworks. El Job, Skynox. Good to see all of you. But Rob, you know you're my guy. I know you've been struggling lately. Anytime, man, you reach out to me, please. You know I love you. I'm thinking it's a new edition of Space Hulk. I am almost absolutely convinced, after talking to a few other people, I am convinced we're getting a new edition of Space Hulk. Right here, my man. I'm convinced we're getting a new edition of Space Hulk. And if we are getting a new edition of Space Hulk, I am buying, pre-ordering, oh my god, getting a copy. I've wanted this game for 30 years. I've never been able to get my hands on a copy without paying ridiculous, exorbitant prices. So that's not happening. Lady D. My love. My lovely love. So before you get into deep and everything, what's on the bench? Tin. Actually, not tin. It's very, very thin sheet metal. What makes it easy to cut, easy to glue and stick down, and make a really nice magnetic miniature case out of a large Tupperware bin. Sterlite makes these there for under bed. You can put an entire army in one of these bins. It's tall enough to stick tall figures in, and yet it's not really bad for space, and they stack up and are nice and sturdy. I've already got 6 of them. I made 6 of them. I just made 2 more tonight because I got a bug up my butt. And a week ago, I started painting Necrons. A week later, I'm 40 figures in. So, that's why I got 2, because she needs her army case, because Lady D just got a great big addition onto her Age of Sigmar Blades of Corn army. Yes, you do. You have a Blades of Corn army, you silly goose. Don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you don't know. You know. But so the idea is, yeah, you also have a second army, if you remember right, that we'll be working on soon. Or did you forget? Lady D has decided that she's done with Drakari. She's too traumatized. And so she's going to be working on Sisters of Battle. And perfect fit. Clings right too, keeps him safe. I love it. Something big. Jesus, man. So let's talk about those. So then, like I said, I'm putting magnets on bases and bases in a box. So let's talk about Adepticon. I've got a couple of my guys. Skynox being one of them, going down to play at Adepticon. I have some of my other guys that are going down there to play Age of Sigmar. Everybody's talking about what's coming out this big reveal in a day and 2 hours and a half. So basically, see the 8, 9, 10 o'clock our time tomorrow. What is going to be released? What are they talking about? Well, let's talk about what they've shown so far. They've said point blank that we're going to get we're going to be getting some updates on Warhammer. We're going to be getting Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Kill Team, and Warhammer Underworlds. You're not going down. Skynox, I'm sad to hear that. I figured you go down there and pwn some noobs. Well, I'm disappointed, but not in you. So let's talk about what is, I said 3 hours. Yeah, I mean, it is one of the super majors. You're going to have all the big boys go down. They need to do something about it next year, we hope. Either that or maybe, I don't know. Figure something out. We got to figure something out. So they're saying that there's going to be 40K, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Kill Team, and Underworlds. Now, Underworlds, I can already guess what Underworlds is going to be. Underworlds is going to be a preview of the new season. Because that's what it is every time they announce Underworld. It's like, oh, there's a new season of Underworlds. I'm not trying to be a wet blanket because I do enjoy playing Underworlds, but I haven't played it in like a year and a half, maybe. And unfortunately, the whole idea of seasons, the whole idea of it actually being played competitively, I have a hard time believing it happens anywhere but in England. I've never seen it played competitively here. I've never seen any store I have been at play it competitively. I think it's a fine game. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it. I can thank Mr. Ben for introducing it to me. It is a fun game. It is a quite enjoyable game to play. No question of that. But when you try to combine miniatures with collectible cards, well, they found that out because they had to change the rules because the collectible cards portion of it broke the damn game. And so they had to go back and literally change the rules so that people could play it. I need the flatter magnet for this. So, and I'm guessing they learned that lesson finally with the rule change. But at the same time, it's like, is the damage already done? Again, being a game with a collectible aspect in miniatures, collectible card games are the kind of game that are kind of built to be broken. I mean, people try to find the most broken mechanics and exploit them. That's kind of collectible card games thing. So I don't see how well that would work with miniatures, because once the cards are printed, unless you're actually getting rid of cards and printing new cards and removing cards from play on a regular banless rotation like they do with card games, especially with as short as their seasons are comparatively, or I should say as long as their seasons are, because their season usually lasts like a year and a half, 2 years, because they have to produce new models. Understandable. But, I mean, again, they're getting a new season. They're probably getting some new models. I don't want to call it underwhelming, but that's what we get every time they say that. And the thing is, they made a very important point when they talked about this year's Adepticon, that it was going to be monumental. It was going to be a big deal, and not just a big deal like it always is. I mean, let's be honest. Honestly, how much that is hype? They always hype their stuff as, oh, it's going to be a big deal. They always do. But the impression they gave was that it was going to be a slightly bigger deal than normal. What does that mean? Well, we know 10th edition is on the way. We know 10th edition is on the way, but they're not going to name 10th edition at here. I can tell you one of the things I think they are going to announce. I think we're going to finally, for us Age of Sigmar players, I think we're going to finally see them announce Cities of Sigmar. I think they're finally going to start showing off more than just little sprues and some stuff. I think we're finally going to get some actual details on what Cities of Sigmar, the new version, is going to be. Since when they released the edition, that was supposed to be the crux of this edition's this edition's Age of Sigmar. Like, it was supposed to be all about the cities are helping take everything back. And we've gone through, and basically everybody now has either got the release or has the release announced. We've got Blades of Corn. Not everybody. We got Blades of Corn and Hedonites got theirs finally announced. I think the only one left are Vampires, the Vampires and the Bone Dudes. Which the Bone Dudes need a fix almost more than any other army, because right now they're not playable in their current state. Their rules don't literally work with the current rule set. But yeah, I think we're going to get Cities of Sigmar. I think we're going to get the big Cities of Sigmar release, because this has up till now been a faction that was basically, hey, we got all these old models we don't know what to do with, so we're going to put them into one faction for those guys that don't want to give up their old armies. And now it looks more like they're doing something major with it. Like, they've shown some new sprues, they've shown some new design models. I think we're going to see something major for that. I think they're going to show off the whole new line for Cities of Sigmar. I also think we're going to get two factions at once. I think they're going to release a new faction. I think because that's what G-Dubs does. they haven't added like a really new faction in 3 yet. They've released new parts to factions, but they haven't really released a new faction in 3L. So I think we're going to see a new faction added to Age of Sigmar. That's not the cities. Were I to guess, because we got Giants last edition. We got a couple new things last edition. If I were to guess, I'm going to guess it's going to be Destruction, only because you really can't do anything more with Death. And they've covered the 5 aspects of chaos. Each of the 4 chaos gods, the Chaos United, and the Skaven, whatever the hell they are. So, I mean, there's nothing they can do for chaos. So, Destruction has the Gloomspites, the Ogres, the Giants, and the Orcs. The Umbraneth, Flesh Your Courts would be nice. Umbraneth would be interesting, and Ben, I kind of agree with you. I would love to see them actually do the Dark Elves, the actual Dark Elves, like the old Dark Elves from the old times. But do them as Destruction, because that's what they were. They really weren't. If you're going to put them in, they're not Order. They're really not Order. They didn't work with other elves. They didn't work with anybody. They enslaved everybody. Honestly, they were Drow in a lot of... They were Drow without being able to call them Drow. Let's be honest. They lived underground. They didn't like sunlight. And they had lots of slaves. And they were still foofy like elves, but they were angry foofy elves. So... I would love to see them actually do the Umbraneth, and I'd like to see them do the Dark Elves and put them in Destruction. That would make sense for where they would go. No, Amblegard are dwarves, sweetheart. Amblegard are just dwarves. Hello, Miss Dermethos. Led by Maloran. Yeah, I'd be all down for that. I would be absolutely down for them to bring them out like that. Adam Destruction, bring us up some good old-fashioned evil elves, bent on destroying everything. Them deciding, you know what? Screw all y'all. We're going to conquer everything and do the nasty with it. Because, again, the Drukhari are really who the Dark Elves were in fantasy in a lot of ways. They're not pillars of morality, but they still follow order. The Dark Elves from before, the old times, they were naughty. They were exceedingly naughty. Your girls are just violent. I mean, violent. Violent is, everybody's violent. So that being said, what else, could we see out of that? Like I said, I'd love to see some Flesh Eater Courts, some new stuff for them. I'd like to see their new book. Again, the Bone Boys, I'd like to see their 3.0 book where something actually works. I'm thankful my Hedonites are finally getting a book. The little I've seen, I'm still kind of on the fence about. They don't look amazing. They don't look, The Sylvaneth are the Wood Elves, the Wild Elves. They were the Wood Elves back in the day. And that's the whole thing. Like, the Lumineth are the old light elves, the high elves. The Sylvaneth are the old wood elves. There really were no underwater elves. So that was kind of new when they added them in, as far as I remember. I don't remember there being any underwater elves. So like I said, I think if they do bring out the Umbran Elms, the Umbraneth, that'd be nice to see them and then put them in destruction, and I think that'd be good. I think it's like I said, they're gonna be bringing out a new faction. I can just see it, all new model line. No, not G Dubs. The problem with them doing the Tomb Kings, the Bone guys basically replaced the Tomb Kings. The reason you won't see the Tomb Kings in the new Age of Sigmar is the same reason you won't see the Bretonnians in Age of Sigmar, other than there being some grandfathered rules in there. They're just Egyptian symbolry. The Tomb Kings would be great, and they're going to be great in the old world when that comes back out. But they can't copyright Egyptian mythos or Bretonnian Arthurian mythos. And Leader of Seals is tiny. It is tiny. But that's the thing. They can't copyright either Egyptian mythos or Arthurian mythos. So honestly, that was part of what I understood the reason they moved away from them from. Empires were very generic, and Bretonnians were very Arthurian. I mean, they literally had Grail Knights and the Lady of the Lake as part of their army. Come on now. So, yeah. Can't copyright it, not going to do it. They can copyright the design of a miniature, and that's it. So I'm excited to see what they're going to come up with for Age of Sigmar, because they are saying that this is going to be big for everything. I'm just curious how big it's going to be. It's a 1 hour. It's a 1 hour reveal, so it seems like it's the same size as all their other reveals. Now, what else we're going to see? We're going to see Warhammer Horus Heresy. Okay, so Horus Heresy. I was talking about this with a couple guys. I like conceptually. I've said this before. I love conceptually Horus Heresy. I love the models. I love the look. I love to build them and paint them, decorate them up, make them look awesome. I don't like the game. I don't enjoy the playing of the game. Now, I talked to one of my guys that plays the game regularly, and I told him this. I'm like, look, dude, I don't understand how am I not enjoying this game. And I told him that it's just the mechanics. Just the mechanics are just, to me, they're just, the mechanics are kind of meh. And so I got an offer by him and a couple other guys that play to have me come down, hang out with them, and play a game with them so that I can see how the game is supposed to play. Now, the problem is that I'll go do it, but I don't have a lot of faith because I know I was getting the rules right. Maybe it's just with bigger armies and bigger models, the game is better, but like I just wasn't feeling it. But I love the aesthetic, so I'm excited if they can do something with the aesthetic. I'm assuming they're going to get some more plastic infantry because that's the one thing that game really, really, really needs. It's got all these tanks now, but the game is meant to be played as a big infantry game. And that's what a lot of the older players are like, what is going on? We're getting all of our dreadnoughts in plastic, all of our vehicles in plastic. But all the specialty units that everybody plays, and even some of the only used in 30K, Like there's a type of figure called a breacher to do with a shield. They're meant for like doing boarding actions and stuff like that. That's a big deal in that game. Well, they don't have a plastic figure, so they're resin only. And they really should, because they are a big deal to the game, apparently. They really should have a plastic figure. So a plastic breacher upgrade kit, just like they did the heavy weapons kits and the special weapons kits, a breacher weapon kit, a breacher guard kit, which is a shield and an extra shoulder pad and like a special gun or something. Yeah, printer goes Bert. I mean, that's the whole problem. Is that I think G Dubs is kind of missing the boat there, and I know of a lot of them that because they're just not going with what the community wants, with what the community needs with this new edition. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of like printer files, and to be honest, printer goes Bert, but China Recast goes cha-ching. Hit your grim here next. Kill Team. We're gonna see what the next season of Kill Team is. They're gonna move out of the boarding actions, and they're gonna move to something else. Now, this goes back to what I was saying about earlier about them doing a new edition of Space Hulk. The first thing all of us said, all us old heads said, I should say, as soon as we saw the boarding actions terrain, we're like, oh my God, they're creating a Kill Team mode for the game, because it's basically not Kill Team mode, a Space Hulk mode for 40K, because that's in essence what that really is. If you've never played Space Hulk is basically Kill Team boarding actions. I mean, you're playing, that's literally what it is. I mean, that's literally what Space Hulk is. It's boarding actions, Kill Team. So we were all like, what are they going to do? Now, the interesting thing to note, and this is something somebody pointed out to me, when they show the Terminator and the Tyrannid, afterwards they show the Warhammer 40K logo, not the Kill Team logo. And the Kill Team logo has the 40K logo as part of it, but it's only part of the whole logo. So that's how we know that's not going to be the Kill Team thing that they're doing. So I'm holding out for doing Space Hulk. But then somebody else pointed out, and I noticed it, for the first time since 7th edition, we got a special edition box, or a special value-added box, whatever you want to call it, that had Firstborn Marines in it. Because the thing of Vashtor, that new Vashtor box, has Deathwing Terminators in it. It kind of is, but that's the whole thing. The Kill Team with it is Kill Team meets Zora Mortalis, but the thing is that when you added the boarding actions walls and whatnot, that's literally, you're supposed to be on a Space Hulk there. So you're literally, instead of it being tiles, because that's the thing, Kill Team was, Space Hulk was tiles. You put tile as you went into a room, you put a tile down. It's now the terrain, so that was supposed to be its on. So it's really weird But I mean, that is the thing to say, is that they, for the first time since at no time in 8th edition, and this is now near the end of 9th, they release a box set with Firstborns in it. This convinces me they're not getting rid of Firstborns. Doing it right now absolutely convinces me they're not getting rid of Firstborns, at least not anytime soon. So I feel better about it. But 40K, just that logo, Terminators, Tyranids, and a kind of slightly different looking Tyranid. That doesn't look like a Gene Stealer. And that's what Gene Stealers were. It was Gene Stealers versus Terminators. The other thing is that there's still a lot going on. They're not going to announce 10th edition, because this whole thing is leading up to Adepticon. This is going to be the big thing. Are we going to discuss Dante Gate? Oh, yeah, we are going to discuss Dante Gate. I was getting to that. Yeah, I get. It does. It looks like something bigger. So we'll see. Maybe that's going to be the new Gene Stealer sculpt, that a miniature that's needed a resculpt. So maybe they're getting a new resculpt, and that's the replacement sculpt. So we'll see. There's also rumors that we're going to be seeing Primaris-sized Terminators, and that's been a rumor floating around for a bit, that we're going to keep Terminators and they're going to get Primaris up. Really? I don't know. It wasn't someone at the warehouse. That's the hilarious thing. All right. It was very obvious as soon as it got leaked and as soon as they dropped the video instantly that Dante was going to be one of the big earth-shattering reveals. Was going to be one of the earth-shattering reveals at Adepticon. And to have a week and a half for Adepticon, people go, hey, look, I got the new Dante. How'd that happen? Because they just put Dante on a build to order like a month beforehand, which really doesn't look. That's a bad look. Hey, we're going to be replacing this model real soon. We should try and milk as much out of this figure as we can before we retire it. So all these people ordered the old Dante, and a bunch of them got the new Dante because they ran out of the old Dante. As best as anyone can guess, they ran out of the old Dante, and the machine, not knowing any better, just started picking from the bin, because it is known that they have an automated picking system. It is a known thing that they have an automated picking system. So the picker just started grabbing the new Dante boxes, which they were stocking up on. And oh shit, that got out in the wild real quick. Oh, that had to have been like, I think the day that hit Instagram, and it was all over Reddit, exploded all over Reddit, and exploded all over Instagram, and exploded all over Twitter. I got to imagine whoever was in charge of that piece, whoever was doing that, was getting ready to do this big marketing piece at Adepticon, just kind of went, oh, my job, oh, my job. I'm gonna tell you, Dice. Remember, when you get used to a system working properly, you're willing to cut corners to let speed happen. And I say this because the last time I ordered directly through the web portal, actually, I gotta say it now, the last 3 times, There have been 3 times I have ordered from the web portal, not in the store, but ordered from the web portal, got something ordered, and sent it in to have it sent to me. The last 3 times, I honestly actually the only 3 times, because I've only ever done that 3 times. Usually I go into a store and order it there. But the 3 times I've ordered it online, I have gotten extra stuff every single time. I know we talked about this was a couple of years ago. We talked about the first time it ever happened. I ordered the old yeah, you would absolutely think so. Yeah, they just went right in the bin. Dante. It could have just been an error. Could have gone, we're going for the Dante box. This bin is empty. Dante, that's this box. Because I don't want to think they did that on purpose. Because if they did that on purpose, that was the most anticlimactic thing they could have done to one of the most. And I don't like the Blood Angels, and yet Dante's a badass, and I have to give him props. But like this happened about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. I ordered a Nurgle Demon Prince, the special resin Nurgle Demon Prince. I wanted one. I got 3 of them and a sheet of Nurgle, transfers. The Forge World, the Horus Heresy Nurgle transfers. You know, that was just me ordering a single Demon Prince. Oh no, I think I ordered a Demon Prince and something else to get it to like $50, and because I would get free shipping, and they shipped it directly to me. And I opened up the box, and it had 2 things I ordered, and then it had 2 extra Demon Princes and a sheet of transfers for Nurgle. I'm like, okay. The other time I ordered a bunch of paints. During the time that GW was closed, but the web portal was still open. I ordered a bunch of paints. Basically, I need these paints now before they close down the web store. So I ordered like 10 paints because they were running a deal. You know, you order 9, you get the 10th free or something like that. You got like something free with it. And I ordered 10 paints. And I remember the look on Shannon's face, Lady D, when I opened up that box. It's like, why did you order so much paint? Because there was like 25 bottles of paint in the box. Which is like, well, that's cool. There's a lot of colors in here I don't remember ordering. And then at one point, I ordered something. I ordered like a vehicle. I ordered a vehicle from. No, I ordered some. I ordered the big crossbow guys with the birds that are with the Stormcast from the old set. I ordered 2 boxes of that. And we got that and a box of random Space Marines that were in there. It was like a box of like just regular intercessors that was in there. And it's like, okay. You know, it's just like all 3 times. It's just like, what? You know, and I'm not going to complain about getting free stuff. But like, it's not the only thing I've heard about. I've heard people order from Forge World. Like, I remember it went back to this. Somebody ordered a bunch of stuff from Forge World. And when they got their box of stuff, it had in there like 4 or 5 packages of upgrade sprues for a faction they don't play. And so he took them back to the store to give them back. And the store was like, okay, I guess we'll hang on to them. It was just weird. You know, it's just like their picking system. It is very obvious that if they do have a human picker at the other end of their system, they're not checking every box. They're like checking every, they're checking 1 out of every X number of boxes, like 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10, but they're definitely not checking every box. So however it was, Dante got out in the wild and they were just like, oh shoot. And so, well, I guess he couldn't wait to start raiding. And you could tell they threw that video together like overnight, because it was not great. It was hilarious from a Schadenfreude aspect. It was hilarious. There is a part of me that feels bad for Blood Angels players because, Dante is their dude. He's the dude that, you look in the lore, he's not only just this badass, but freaking Rabute trusts him and made him rule over a section of Sector Nullis. Now you rule over that sector. Take care of it for me. You got it, boss. And he just got unceremoniously yeah, I don't pretend to understand how their ordering system works, because I've heard people that had got stuff and got extra stuff, and when they complained about it, they went, hey, I got this, they got more new stuff. I bought a Baneblade. It was missing sprues from the box. The box was plastic sealed. It was an old box, but it was a plastic sealed. I literally filmed, because I was doing this really cool video, and I filmed unwrapping the plastic, opening the box, taking out the sprues, and realized I'm 2 sprues short. And I'm not like upgrade sprues. I'm missing like parts of the body. But because I couldn't show them a receipt, because I bought it from somebody secondhand, they're like, sucks to be you. So I have a half-built Baneblade. Now, admittedly, I got it as a deal. I mean, I got it for a lot less than retail. But I've got this half-built Baneblade that I can't actually finish because there are pieces missing. So I'm very tempted to either get some plastic card and kit bash the pieces I'm missing, or use a bunch of plastic card and other shit and turn it into an orc battle wagon that's been looted and absolutely just, just converted, and just really offend every guard player for miles. I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly what because luckily I have orcs, and I'm playing the blue ones that enjoy stealing. So I'm okay with it being extra looty. Oh my god. There we go. This magnet did not want to go in place. Oh. So yeah, I'll make it. The problem is I've already got all the pieces for another battle wagon, so I'm gonna end up with 2 battle wagons. I guess I might turn it into. No, I can't turn it into a gun wagon unless I. That's one of the things I'm missing. It's missing the freaking turret. One of the sprues is missing the main gun. It's funny, actually, I gotta say, just side note on that, hilariously, at the tournament I was at, what is that now, 2 weeks ago, in the 3rd round, I played an orc player, and he had an actual battle wagon, but he had also 2 or 3 trucks, 2 trucks. One of them was a Chimera that he had carved open and turned into an open top truck. And the other one, the other one was a what do you call it? A Torox. And it was just like, oh my God. It's just like, I don't have trucks. I have looted vehicles. And it was great. I mean, it was a really great game. It was a really great guy. I was just like, my God, man. It's like, I've been looking at other vehicles. I kind of want to do a kill rig. I kind of want to do a looted kill rig, to be honest. Basically, I want to look at what's on a kill rig and then maybe get like an extra mangler squig or, the double mangler squig from Age of Sigmar and use that to make a kill rig. Because I think that would be hilarious. And yeah, just for those of you who weren't here earlier, this is what I've been working on for the last 2 weeks. Or last week. These are my my Necrons. This is them in their swampy base. They still have work to be done, but I'm trying to put them away and make them safe. The Scorpic destroyers. There's still going to be water added onto the bases. I want to do some watery puddles on there. So, and you're not wrong, Hellchild. Like, one of the things I saw is that I saw a yeah. I can see that. I was actually looking at what do you call it? What is the name of the vehicle? The Goliath Rock Crusher, the one with all the spinny crushing saws on it for the Genes to the Cults. I want to turn that into a truck. It's literally an open top truck. I want to turn that into a truck for the rock grinder. I want to turn that and turn that into an arc truck. I think it's a great option because it's already got all the grinder stuff involved. So I already have my Death Rolla on there. And then just swap out some of the Meltas for DACA guns and leave it at that. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Yeah, if I was going to use a land fortress, I would definitely. Now, that'd be hilarious. Take the land fortress and take out the turret glass. And so you could have an orc driver right there. And then put a mangler squig on the front of it so that the driver is actually holding chains while the mangler squig bounds forward. And there's a kill rig for you. I mean, that's like $300 worth of models to replace a $100 model, but it'd be fun. I have not seen a looted Warlord Titan, but I have seen somebody loot a regular is it Dominus, basically a Castellan class Dread or Castellan class Knight, and turned it into the Mega Dread or whatever. There's a Forge World bigger one. I also thought about taking it and just putting gangplanks on the whole thing and turn one into a into the big orc teapot thing. You can have so much fun with orcs. I mean, that's the beauty of them. I kind of wish they were that fun in Age of Sigmar. Let me be honest with you. Like, I don't like the swamp orcs. They suck. And the big orcs are, I mean, they're big. They're cool. I like them. But they're just big orcs. The best orcs I've ever seen were the orcs that thought they were ultramarines. The ultra darks. They were hilarious looking. They used marine equipment. They wore marine shoulder pads. They drove around in a marine rhino. They turned into an open top truck. They took a Land Raider and turned it into a hard case battle wagon. It was absolutely hilarious. I've seen somebody do a Grot Guard army and use orc meganobs as ogrins, which I thought was hilarious. It was either meganobs or they might have used just bosses and made them into meganob and made them into ogres, which I thought was hilarious. I really love. Okay, I gotta say, Gamer's Grass. If you don't use Gamer's Grass, use Gamer's Grass. Oh my god, these tufts. Same box. They gave me two different kinds of March tufts. They're different. They're different colors. They're different shapes. They're different lengths. They really have a natural feel to them. I throw 2-3 tufts down on a figure's base, and look at how good that looks. A little bit of water on there, and this thing is going to be ready to be out of the swamp. Oh, I'm so pleased with these guys. I really, really am. I'm super pleased with how these guys came out. So that's a big question. With them losing Dante, what are they going to, what earth-shaking reveal are they going to do? I mean, they literally would have to top themselves. They had their big reveal ruined. So what do they do? Do they just say to hell with it and finally show off the lion that, you know, everybody has heard the rumors of him coming for months? Do they finally show him off? Do they finally release him? I mean, do they release 40K 10th edition early? Do they keep their promise? Oh, I hate these bottles. They somehow get clogged. So do they keep their promise in that 10th edition, 9th edition is a living edition, and I would agree with you, Ben, except they specifically didn't announce any Necromunda, which makes me kind of sad. Because they did just release that new Regal Lady. For Necromunda. And I gotta say, she's a gorgeous figure. It's going to be interesting. I'll be honest, because of their accidental leaks, the fact that we already seen, if you saw the Joy Toy article, the fact that we've already seen Primaris, what do you call it? The Golden Boys from the Blood Angels. We've already seen Primaris versions of them with the jump packs, and Dante's jump pack matches the jump pack they had. So we've already seen them. We've already seen that they're doing Primaris updates to existing figures. Do they just move everybody? Do they just move everybody to Primaris and just say to hell with it anymore? Your Wolfguard are not Primaris. Your everybody's Primaris. Do they make it now? It's been 2 editions, so it doesn't matter. So Marine is Marine. What do they do? Do they stop selling the tactical teams and just offer tactical upgrade sprues so that you can take tactical intercessors? So they're intercessors with the tactical weapons layouts. I don't know, man. At this point, I'm almost kind of giving up on trying to guess what 40K is going to do, because the leaks have been awful, but they've been so accurate, and yet there is stuff that has snuck out. Tinfoil hat time. What if GW's behind the leaks? What if GW is out there trying to build hype, but doing it in the most guerrilla way possible? We're going to stick it to GW, and we're going to show off their releases, and we're going to spoil their releases so everybody knows what they are before they come out. Yeah, Warhammer Community is run by GW, and they leak stuff all the time. Yeah, I mean, okay. To be fair, Warhammer Community is run by mostly their marketing team. When I was working for Wizards of the Coast, I worked for the marketing team. That was who my direct bosses were. And let me tell you, marketing is full of a bunch of people that are super excited about their job. Kind of like the way a Labrador Retriever is really excited by squirrels. They're like, so they don't really know what's going on. They just know what they're doing, what they're working on is the coolest thing ever. And that's the hype they have to build. Especially working for a gaming company where it's all about the hype. It is entirely 100% in a gaming company, all about the hype. I mean, you look at the way that they hype a new model, or they hype a new faction, or they hype a resculpt. And you look at the players and like, Why? Nobody cared about that model. No, we didn't ask for that. We didn't want that. That's not what we wanted. But they're marketing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Honestly, that's a lot of what marketing is like. They just know what they have is exciting and fun and new, and they want everyone to enjoy it. The reality of what it is doesn't really matter. And I don't know if that's a bad thing, to be honest, because, you think about it sometimes. We as gamers, especially war gamers, there is a large portion of this community that gets real jaded real quick over stuff. Not naming any names, Ben. That's the whole thing. If you build the hype, oh, we're sticking to GW, we're leaking their release schedule, and everybody starts looking at that release schedule. I'm not jaded, I'm just realistic. You look at, everybody starts looking at that release schedule, and let's be honest, not every player can buy every release. So when people see the release they're looking forward to, if they can know about it several months ahead of time, which is not the GW way. But if you think about it, as a regular business, it should be the way. Because if somebody can't afford every release, and they know people can't afford every release, if you know that army that you want is getting a refresh in 3 months, you're going to save every penny until that 3 months. And because that's your favorite army, you're going to spend probably even a little more than you should. I'm not saying I know anybody who does that. But I do have a lot of guard. I have 17 Layman Russes. I didn't realize I had that many. I almost bought another one. Then I went, I don't need another Layman Russ. But I had to stop myself and go, I don't need a Layman Russ. But I really want another Layman Russ. Why? I don't know. Yeah, you, my friend. Oh, Rob. I will be honest, Rob, I envy you. I actually envied your backlog. Now, I've got a pretty decent backlog. I'll be honest. I have a pretty decent backlog. And I know this. So I'm trying my best to limit what I buy this year based on what I finish painting. Which is why I'm working on all of my Necrons. All of my Necrons. All of my Necrons. All of my Necrons. I was going all in on Necrons, and then Tau fell in my lap. And a two Xenos armies. You're not too far off, Hellchild. My big thing is I buy stuff when it's on sale. Like, specifically, I buy stuff when I say on sale, I mean, oh, I can get a special box that's like a Battle Force box for this army I really want. So I can get this at a deal. Well, I'll get that. It's got some extra units I don't really need. Yeah, but you know what? They'll be cool to build as well. And they'll be cool to paint as well. And why do you have 7 or 8 units of Scorpec destroyers? I'm doing better than I did last year. I'm doing a lot better than I did last year. I've actually bought a lot less this year than I have in previous years. And I really am trying to focus on getting stuff painted. I'm really trying my damnedest to get through my backlog. And I say that with me finishing these 40, I am at now 186 figures painted for the year. We are 2/3 of the way through March. And I am having a problem with running out of super glue left and right. Oh my God. Super glue. It is my bane. Yeah, I know you, Hellchild. I like painting though. I'm actually, now that I've got my my painting scheme down to a science for these Necrons, I mean, I'm ripping through them really quickly. And okay, you can be honest with me, fam. You can be honest with me. Does it look good? Is it a good looking model? Does the paint scheme look good? It's a very simple paint scheme, but I like the way it's coming together. I personally really like the way it's coming together. But I'd love to get your guys' feedback. I have a bunch more terrain I have to get through building and painting. I'm focusing on Necrons right now, and the nice thing about this paint scheme is that I can walk away from it. So I can build a bunch of stuff, paint a bunch of stuff, then walk away from it because it's only a couple paints. So I just remember, what the paints are. It's lead belcher, it's lead belcher, it's buff, it's tesseract glow, and it's Castellan bronze. And that's it. That's the entire paint scheme. I prime them black, and then overbrush with the lead belcher. Paint the eyes and the gun in buff, or the parts I want glowy, I'm gonna paint in buff, and then I give that a coat of the Tesseract glow, and then I take Castellan bronze and cover the areas I want to be done. On warriors, it's their gun casing and their shoulder. Everybody, the entire army, it's their shoulder plates. And then any additional bigger plates they have will be that color. And then anybody that's carrying a gun, the gun will be that color. And if they've got any like dangly bits, like for HQs and stuff, they're going to be that color as well. But that's it. Like, it's a very basic paint scheme, but it makes the green super pop, and yet still makes the figure look good. And that basing scheme, that slightly greenish tint to AK Terrain's wet ground, that slightly, just ever so slight greenish swampy tint to it, when you put the greenish brownish tufts on it, I mean, it just looks like I'm coming out of the thing. And for some figures, I'm going to actually, I went to do it for the Scorpex, and I got so excited about doing them, I didn't do it. So I was going to have like some branches and some I was gonna have some branches, and I was gonna have some of the bracken, which I'm gonna paint like ferns on some of the bases. So I'm gonna use them for some of the bigger figures. I'm gonna put like fallen logs and bracken, and just try and really work this stuff out. I gotta grab super glue because I need super glue for this. I will have to let it go. I'm out over here. I'll have to get some off the shelf later. All right. Hey, good night, Dice. I appreciate you. Appreciate you showing up. So yeah, I mean, so what? It's just like I said. I'm just trying to focus on making them look good on the tabletop, and being happy with the build. I'm happy with the build. I'm happy with the color scheme. I think sometimes some people get so over inundated with trying to make these display level figures. And don't get me wrong, I think there are some figures that you should go that route with in an army. I'm definitely my Silent King. When I get to painting him, I'm going to go absolutely fucking berserk on him. And I'm going to do some of my HQs. I'm going to go kind of berserk on them. But I think my rank and file, my regular figures, I just want to make them look good and matching. So the army really looks, has a nice visual appeal together. And I think the bright green with the dark metal tones is that's the aesthetic I'm going for. So, and I was originally going to do them in blue, and I was thinking about doing it in blue, and I was thinking about doing it in like a pink, or even doing a fiery red. And I found my bottle of Tesseract Glow, and I tried it on one figure, and I honestly, this is possibly one of the coolest paints they've ever done. If you put, it's like a contrast paint, kinda, but thinner. It's like a halfway between a wash and a contrast paint. When you put it over buff, which is a slightly yellow color, it made it just jump. The color, the color intensity just jumped off the model. This lighting does not do this justice. I mean, that green, I mean, if you look at how intense that green is, that's closer to what that green looks like. It's so bright. It just jumps. Just super strong, jumps out at you. So Kill Team. It's gonna be the new set. What is the new set gonna be? I don't know. They started off the set using the Mechanicus terrain. I noticed like 2/3 of the Mechanicus terrain you can't even order online anymore. You can't order from their site anymore. Like, you can't get the ones that look like the canisters, the ones that look like the giant soup cans. You can't order those anymore. They don't exist on their website. You have to get them from third parties. They only have the Ferrotonic Furnace, the tall stack and the gantries, but they don't have the actual furnaces anymore. Then the second set they did was they expanded the Frontiera set, which I absolutely love that aesthetic. I bought like 3 sets of it. I bought the full box set, and then I bought a couple extra pieces here and there. I absolutely love that terrain set. Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw you were doing that knife sketchiness with them to weather them. I thought that was really, really awesome, dude. I really thought that looked good. I can't wait to actually paint my set of them, because I don't actually, I have a couple pieces painted, but I have, again, a really cool paint scheme, and now I have this stuff, which I need to get a dryer. I need to get a hair dryer to really use this stuff properly, because I want to just kind of splash it all over the stuff and just get that patina all over the place. but I need like a couple of those soup cans. I actually need one specifically not built because I saw somebody do something really cool with the Heliotrope. So apparently, I got this is a beautiful thing about being a member of the in the magazine. There's things you don't know until you see people messing around because they get extra pieces of this stuff. Now, I have a Heliotrope. I think I have one or two already built and started. But I found something out after seeing people kit bash. The Heliotrope, this inner circle, is the same size as the big soup can. So if you take these, they will cap end a soup can. I really want to do that. I really want to get a soup can and do that to it. I think it would look awesome. And then I can use that with the pipe stuff to because it came with the pipe stuff, to kind of make a standalone terrain piece for the board to go along with the other pieces that I have. So I may have to go hunt down a lone soup can model just to be able to build that. I'm going to try and find one secondhand or an unbuilt one because the idea of paying $50 to kit bash a single piece of terrain and not use the entire model, I don't know. Part of me is like, yeah. Part of me is like, no. Part of me is about going, well, I wonder if I can get some plastic art and just wrap it in there. But I really like the texture on that stuff. So something I gotta get over for myself. Again, limiting the amount of pieces I'm buying this year. Maybe I'll get lucky and one of my further issues of Imperial Magazine will actually have a soup can in it. That would be awesome. Talked about Age of Sigmar. So 40K, what's coming? We don't know. I mean, do we finally get the Lion? Are we going to see a bunch of new models? Are we going to see 10th? Are they going to jump to 10th early? Tune in tomorrow. I'm working at the game store tomorrow, and my shift ends at 10. So I'm going to miss the opening of the. The sneak peek, but I may very well, if I can rush home, I might, as soon as I walk in the door, I might run over here, jump on live, and react live to it. Just because it sounds awesome. So keep an eye on your bell, ring that bell, make sure you see it, so you see if I come and do that. If I can do that, I can be here like 10:15. If we can get out right away, and I got my guy working with me tomorrow night. So that's normally a very quick night for us. If it's slow tomorrow night, I will be at my computer by 10:15. I'll just run in, boom, doom, let's go live. So I'll be here. If not, if I can't get there in time, I'll be there with the rest of you, just watching and going, because I didn't get the figure I wanted released. I don't want the Lion. I want Russ. I'm never gonna get. They're never gonna do a 40K Russ. That would break the lore. Everything breaks the lore. That would break the game. Because you just walk out and just be like, "I'm Layman Russ. I win." And this is gonna be the weirdest thing to say, but I'm not. I don't agree with my buddy Mythos that the good side needs more Primarchs to match up with the bad guys. I think it kind of shows how desperate the bad guys are getting. But I'm also kind of the other way around. I think they need less Primarchs. I honestly, it's like Miller Time, but better. And instead of beer, you get Majad. Let's all drink blood wine and get hammered and see spirits. No, in all seriousness, I've kind of waffled on this. I love the Magnus figure. I love the Mortarion figure. I'm falling more and more in love with the Rabute figure. The more I look at it, it's a beautiful it's an honestly beautiful figure. I'll be honest, I don't like the Angron figure. I really don't. I don't like the Angron figure. I thought it was going to be cooler than it is. And I don't know. I just think it's really uninspired. It just, well, they don't need to give you new Bobby G. The current Bobby G is like 6 years old, dude. The current Bobby G came out just before 8th edition dropped. Like, hey, I'm Bobby G. I'm back from the dead, and welcome to 8th edition. That's literally the way he came out. Bobby G is a gorgeous figure. He is an absolutely stunning figure. You should go in on Smurfs anyhow, dude. You need Marines. You need more Marines in your life. It's literally, dude, you're ridiculous. You wait a minute. What happened to your 1,000 sons? You had 1,000 sons. Those are Marines. Please tell me you didn't get rid of your 1,000 sons. If you did, I will punch you in your nose. In your nose. Oh, they were Quinn's 1,000 sons. You know, I really do. I really like the Bobby G. I just like him with the helmet on. I don't like his bare head. I don't like his face. His face looks weird to me. Actually, one of the best head swaps I saw, somebody got the head from the 30K Bobby G and put it on the 40K Bobby G, and it looked gorgeous because, yeah, I mean, the Bobby G figure is a gorgeous figure. I honestly believe he's a gorgeous figure. He's an absolutely stunning figure. You're right. He is. Well, he's not the weakest Supreme Commander. He is the weakest Primarch. He is by and far more powerful than three, at least. I can think of 3 Supreme Commanders off the top of my head that he would whoop the hell out of. So he is not the weakest Supreme Commander. He is the weakest Primarch. But in his defense, he's not warp infused like the other 3 at this point. I mean, they're literally demon Primarchs. They're much more powerful than him because they're all one with their demon. They're one with their chaos god. So they should be more powerful. Okay, he would whoop the shit out of Lord Solar. He would whoop the shit out of Shadow Sun, like not even a question. Just destroy Shadow Sun. Yeah. I think as a model too, he's better than either of those other 2 I just named. He's also, I would say he's better than Mornin Vol. I mean, Mornin Vol is a good figure, but I think he's superior to her in a lot of different ways. She's an old lady. She's an old lady in a freaking one step short of a dreadnought. I disagree about that. Lord Solar can only buff Imperial Guard units. Bobby G can do more. Lord Solar's a good figure, but what he does for his faction is great. I think what Bobby G does for his faction is better. But I mean, look at who this other Supreme Commanders are. So there's the 3 Demon Primarchs. There's Bobby G. And Call. Call is the Supreme Commander of the freaking of the Mechanicus, and he is like a nobody takes him because he's so bad. He used to be good, but he is so bad nobody even bothers even looking at his model. I've seen him creep towards lists. I think it's a shame that Bobby G. I think it's bad that on the tabletop, Bobby G is not as powerful as, say, the Black the non-Primarch of the demon of the Space Marines, of the Chaos Marines. I can for whatever reason late at night I can never remember his freaking name. Yeah, Abaddon. I mean, Abaddon's on the table. Abaddon's so much better than he is. And Gaz, I'll be honest, I am underwhelmed by Gaz. Gaz is good. Don't get me wrong. Gaz is very good. I'm not saying he's bad, but I don't know. I mean, it feels to me like every army has a way of just dealing with him and being done with him very easily. I don't disagree. And I didn't say that. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like again, Gaz is a good figure. He's a good commander. He's a good figure on the table. It just seems like every army has a way to go get off the table, Gaz, without even trying. You know? I mean, when Guard can one-shot Gaz off a table, yeah, and that's a very true statement, Knox. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, that's the thing. It's just, to be honest, I like Guilliman. I don't think Guilliman's a needed figure for a good Marine army. Gaz you kind of need for a lot of armies. Demon Primarchs are kind of here and there from what I can see. I mean, Morninval, you need her in the Sisters. You really kind of need her in the Sisters. You don't want Call. I would say like 70% of Guard builds use Solar because he is so good for that specific army. You can't play Sister Slaughter. Fair enough. You can play Guard without Lord Solar, but you got to play around him. I mean, and now that they've really trashed Ursula, he may need to go back in my list. Just because I need the triple buffs. But I might keep Ursula because she still does what I want her to do. So I don't know. I still think Bobby G's a gorgeous model. And speaking as a collector and a lover of Marines, I think Bobby G's an amazing model. And if you have any sort of Marines, you should probably have a Bobby G. Just to have him, to paint him, to love him. Especially you. You could paint him up, you could green stuff him and turn him into a wolf, call him Russ, and run your wolves, which are all Primaris, but are not wolf colors. They're actually, I'm running them as Ultramarines, and use Bobby Tree as your Russ and have a good old time. All right, fam. We're going to wrap this up here. Thoughts? Age of Sigmar is going to get some love. I think Age of Sigmar is going to be the best release notes for anybody coming down. I think Heresy is going to show off new upgrade kits. I think Kill Team's going to show the new Battle Zone. Underworld's going to do new season, and 40K, I have no goddamn idea. Other than it'll probably have something to do with Tyranids and Terminators, which means we very well may be seeing 10th edition. I don't know. I hope y'all want me to play Middle Earth. I can't get into it. I just can't get into it. I watched it being played, and I was just like, I'd rather play Age of Sigmar. If I'm going to play fantasy, I want to play Age of Sigmar. I don't think they're going to do another tank right off the bat. They've done like a tank every other week for like the last 3 months now. I mean, every tank. I mean, there's what tank do they got left to do? The Fellblade? I mean, that's about it at this point. Honestly, I'm thinking they're gonna do. They mentioned in a post somewhere about infantry. Another tank is even bigger. Why would you do anything different? Well, they did. Like I said, they did say there's going to be plastic infantry coming. They actually hinted that there's plastic infantry coming because marketing is terrible at keeping their mouth shut. So I think we're going to see some new plastic infantry. I think we're going to see a new plastic infantry box. I think we might even see a new starter box, like a smaller version of the starter box. It's not 2 armies in 1 box, because that's really been a barrier for a lot of people to get into the game. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to see what they do. Maybe they'll have a rules update that'll make the game fun to play. I kill me sometimes. All right. In any case, I love all you so much. Thank you so much for coming by with the night. If you can give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody coming by. You guys are great. I love you so much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Play games, build figures, paint figures, have fun. Be epic, my friends. I love y'all. Game on.